Get over here. Let's go. Get over here. Come on. No. Over here. Come here. Come on. Over here. Come here. Come here, over here. Hey, over here. Come here. Right here. You stay here. Stay here. My go up right there. Hey, Paul. Good morning. Had kind of a bum day yesterday. The bike quit on me. I was taking it up to get some money from my boss from painting his house and dropped some parts off at the machine shop for a customer, and bike stopped running, so I gotta find out what's going on. Well, the plug looks good. Come here. Get over here. Now, May. Come here. Come here now. I'm gonna put you inside. Come here. Hi, good morning. Come here, May. Come here. May, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Out my bed. Come here. I'll eat your food then, damn it. Good grief, that dog. Raul Duke is here. All right. Yeah, what's up, guys? Good morning. It seems like there is always something with these things. Probably popped the CDI, I don't know. I haven't had any problems with this thing up to now. It's been really dependable. At least a couple thousand miles on it. Get through this tape without cutting the wires. Running the CDI, the wires down here through, as you can see. So got that underneath. May have got wet in there or something and just shorted it out, or not even sure. I got the tester here and everything, so we'll check that out in a minute, see what's going on. Wow. Well, I hope you feel better. That sucks. I know COVID's going around up here, kind of. Or whatever the hell it really is. Put a V-brake forks on my case reed. Came with center pull brakes. All right. Yeah, man. I got just the C style on this bike. But I'm building one with the V-brake on the back. Over here now, May. Come here. Oh. Come here. Damn it, May. Come here. You can't say hi to anybody. Be so busy. Come on.
You too.
Meet your buddy. Meet your buddy, y'all. I said stay. That means over here. Over here, you. Next to me. You gotta listen. Right here. Stay. Maybe stay, or I'm putting you on a leash. You wanna go on a leash? I didn't think so. Oh, Lord of mercy. See if I can find the right wrench. It's probably inside. Oh. Get the pedals out of the way. I take this off, make sure there's no water or anything in here. I don't think there should be any, but anything's possible with these. Over here. Get over here. Let's go. Time of the leash. Come here. Come here. What's that next to me? Over here. You're gonna listen. One way or another, you're gonna listen. Oh. See if anybody else jumped in here. Young King, good morning, good morning. No post on the rear for V-brake, might go disc on the rear. Yeah, man. I mean, for me, working with some of these older frames, I guess, if anything, I would probably follow ERT's cue from the Mini Bavlin. Reason I say that is getting an adapter for the front for disc brakes is pretty easy. Couple bolts, you know, one on your fork and one into the bottom of the fork itself. So, and with that being said, I forget what the numbers are exactly, but it's something like 75% of your stopping power actually comes from the front of the bike. So, you know, 15, 25%, whatever it is on the rear. Nothing wrong with putting a disc brake there, but if you're really looking for that performance, that's probably probably your best bet, in my mind anyway. But, you know, each to their own. However you want to do your setup, that's perfectly fine. Knuckle busting numbskull in the house. What's up? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Happy New Year's, everybody. Hopefully you're safe out there tonight. It's going to be a lot of weirdos, that's for sure. You guys know this country's in a horrible mess already. Well, I guess I could say that for Paul, too, up in Canada. They're not having the best of luck with Trudeau either. But, yeah. Sure, there's going to be lots of fights and accidents and everything else out there. People don't know how to handle their alcohol, and a bunch of new drivers on the road on top of it. So please do take care if you're going out anywhere tonight. My dog snores. Might have been me. Thanks, man. Yeah, I get a little bit of time out of that. That's why I really don't do the marathons. I mean, I find just coming on here for half hour, 45 minutes, whatever, I get almost as much views and airtime. I don't know how, you know, I go online sometimes to the lives in like the middle of the night, and once it's like more towards like California, people out that way, you get all kind of people on, and then they're showing stuff from like India and everywhere else, and there's people like sitting there staring at a wall, and they got 200-300 people watching. It's like, what am I doing wrong? Yeah, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. Fell asleep there watching Kevin's stuff. Gave him some watch hours. I have to pick a random person tonight. So let me just set this back down so I can use both hands here. I would like to be able to do some better filming for you guys. If I could find somebody to... Oh yeah, here we go. Something just fell out of there on top of it. Not sure what that was. Some back spray. Let's see here. So, piece of the case chipped off for whatever reason. This was ground out because I had a... See if you guys are even able to see this here. Which way am I going with the dang thing? Anyway, I had a what am I trying to say? Oh, 11-tooth sprocket on there. So I had taken out material out of the back of that to get that in there. But well, you did it to yourself, May. I told you to sit. I told you to sit. You want to listen? You just went in the woods for 5, 6, 10 miles, whatever the heck it was, 2 hours. All right, well, let me get in there with some paper towels and wipe that out. Looks like I got a bunch of stuff on the magnet. Maybe that's all it was. Might just be shorting out. We'll find out in a couple minutes. I don't know if I can zoom that in a little bit for you guys. Take it right out of there and clean it up. I didn't say come out here. You are really pushing your luck, bro. She wants to go in and lay down. Take her off the leash. Oh yeah, here's the problem. When that came in, I don't know if you guys can notice. Let me get the camera just right here. I'll turn it around. So when that piece came in, it actually loosened the magnet. I'm pushing it here. Let me zoom this back if I can. See that top of that screw? You guys can see that flexing right there. So not only is that loose, it's not getting a good ground, but I picked up a bunch of stuff on the magnet from that piece breaking off. So we'll get it all cleaned out, try to start it up, see if we even have to put the tool on it and check the spark. Good girl. Let's see here. Probably get a screwdriver in there. Get this all cleaned up. We'll put our plug in the bottom of the top of the CDI there and just turn it over and see if we have any spark. Might be able to clarify the issue just by doing that. Hopefully that's all it is. Nothing too major. And get a little wire brush on there. Clean all the stuff off the end of the dangers where the magnets are. Just use my wire brush cup there, just clean it off. Pull any loose particles off of that. I am noticing a little bit of blowback up in here. Oh, I know these head bolts should be tight. We just checked those the other day. I will check them again, but if anything, there's probably a slight leak under the bottom of the exhaust. I've noticed when I start it up, it wants to race a little bit like it has an air leak. And then as soon as it gets warmed up, it dies off. So I've been assuming that's the problem the whole time anyhow. It did have some water in there, so This has gotten kind of damp. I don't know if we can just hit it with maybe a hair dryer or just let it dry out, just out of an abundance of safety, before we try to start it up again or see if there's spark on it. Hope you guys are having a great day wherever you're checking in from. We got bad karma on here. Those are ankle grenades. Not sure I follow the statement, but thanks for being here. Ankle grenades. I mean, you're pretty much strapping yourself to a gallon of gas and driving down the road hoping that you don't hit something or get hit by something or whatever else might happen. But I don't know if I'd call it an ankle grenade, if that's what you're referring to. All right. Our clutch cable is sticking too for some reason, so might have to take the carburetor off to get in there and tighten that or figure out what's going on with it. When it rains, it pours. Never just one thing. And then that's the wrong size. What it says here? The almighty wandering soul. Oh, aimlessly wandering soul. Hey! Let me give you a little spanner here. You can get connected with anybody on the show. I'm sure you probably know how to do it from being over on Dragonfly's channel or going around with other people, but click on anybody's name. Smoke 300's in the house. Thanks for being here. And yeah, just click on the name. A little box comes up, says go to channel, hit subscribe, hit the back arrow, or just click back, whatever it is, and get connected with some people. Safer than an e-bike? Yeah, I mean, I've thought about e-bikes lately. You know, these things do tend to have problems. And as much electrical issues as I've had with these, I'm like, do I really even want to get an e-bike? You know, I'll be the guy that the battery explodes or something and sitting on the side of the road and everybody's taking pictures of you. So, oh, you're most welcome. Happy New Year to you. Do really appreciate it. Again, I know I said it a little bit earlier in case you missed it. I really do hope you have a wonderful New Year. But please be careful if you're going out. A lot of new drivers on the road. A lot of people that don't know how to consume alcohol appropriately. And neighbor taking off on his bike. Little Harley hog power first thing in the morning. It's gorgeous out here. Must be 55 or so. I'm not sure, but it's a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks for saying that. Yeah, I myself, I quit drinking. I just had so many problems with it. Not only health issues, legal issues, and New Brunswick, Canada. Yeah, I think I read that possibly in your bio. So, I don't know what the weather is there today. New Brunswick. I'm trying to think. No, that's British Columbia's on it. So you're up Nova Scotia area then. If you're kind of north of us, probably. Paul, yeah, Paul's in Ontario. There you go. You guys should connect. Sign up for each other anyway. One thing I did notice is really, really strange. When I was out in the woods with May this morning, is that this is the second day in a row now that I've seen geese flying north. And I know they should be going the other way. I've seen maybe one gaggle go in the right direction. I don't know if they're just young birds or they're just confused because of the weather, or if there's something more sinister that they are aware of that possibly we haven't figured out yet. But if anybody else out there is experiencing that, let me know. I definitely am intrigued to find out just what is occurring. That's interesting. Yeah, there it goes. It was just hung up on the cable more than likely. I'll show you guys what I'm doing in a second here. I'm just turning the tensioner on the cable itself back in. So this little guy right here, if you move this out, that puts more pressure on the line. Now I've moved that in, this is drawing back. So we're gonna have some slack in here. As you guys can see, we'll have to try to tighten that up a little bit. 6 degrees, yeah, I was gonna say, I know, was it 4 degrees is not real warm. But wow. Yeah, 43, really, that's not bad. Beautiful day, complete opposite from yesterday. Yeah, I'm flabbergasted. We're supposed to go back to colder weather here in a couple of days, but I don't know if this is what you want to call like our Indian summer. But I know last year, I want to say right around this time, we had the hottest day on recorded history. It was 80 degrees around Christmas time. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Makes absolutely no sense. But I guess if you're a Bible person or whatever, it does say something about that. The end times, the seasons will confuse themselves or something. So who knows? But yeah, what I was gonna say was, yeah, I stopped drinking myself a while back, and it's really helped me a lot. You know, I'm trying to turn my life around altogether, and it was just leading me in the wrong direction. So a lot healthier, a lot happier. And I always try to tell everybody at the end of the show, but if you're struggling with some type of an addiction, whether it's alcohol or drugs, and you just feel miserable and there's no way out, just reach out to like AA or NA or talk to your doctor. If you don't have a doctor, you can go to a hospital, just go to the emergency room. A lot of people have lifelong depression, myself included. And I know there's a lot of vets out there that have that too. So, you don't have to go through it alone. Get in touch with somebody. And whether it's a minister at a church or just, if you don't have any friends, whatever, I'm just trying to put some ideas out there. So, smoke, stop, habit, spirit. What's it says here? 60. Oh, I missed it. 60 in Texas. Yeah. Your family will be turning you into a drinker. Yeah, geez. For you guys that don't know, Aimlessly Wandering Soul is kind of new to the channel. And I really do appreciate your support. We got linked up through a good friend the other day. But I went in and kind of read her story, and I was just blown away. You are definitely a survivor, girl. So I've had a weird life and a hard life. Being on the streets, being homeless, having a bad childhood, that kind of stuff. But I don't mean to throw you under the bus putting your business out there, but this girl's been through about 5 operations, and I think I might have gave up after 1 or 2. I had a double hernia mesh repair, and I get in there, and like the doctor's like, he's like, oh, you're gonna turn black. I'm like, what? He's like, it's normal, it'll go away. So like all your veins and everything are connected. They come in and they cut a couple of holes down in there, and go in and do whatever they're gonna do. I guess they blow you up with some kind of gas so the skin comes up and they can really work in there. So like I got home and they're like, oh, just take it easy, you'll be all right. And then Weldon Carey's in the house. What's up, bro? So I get home, and I was going over to our friend of the channel, Jane, there. I was going to her place to recover, and she's on the 2nd floor. And I went up and down her steps a couple of times, and she's like, you should really slow down. And I'm like, oh, I'm good. And then like I went out to smoke a cigarette, and I was coming back up the steps, and the medicine from the surgery wore off, and I was like, oh. I went from walking normal to like I could barely pick up my feet. So besides, I'm caregiver for my 9-year-old home. Oh, well, God bless you. I know some people just can't, but I really do commend you for that. I don't think elderly people should really be in nursing homes unless it's absolutely needed, or the family just can't do it themselves. So that's wonderful for you to do that. I'm really proud of you. I don't know it. Both of my parents are living, and I don't wish either of them to go. But depending on who would go first, if I had to either move in with my mother or father, or one of them had to come stay with me, I'd be all about it. I don't want to see them in a nursing home. So, but yeah, it's definitely crazy though. The back to the story. So my testicles blew up, and he told me you'd have swelling. When I tell you, they were as big as lemons, if not bigger. I mean, like small oranges, like, and I could not even sit down to go to the bathroom. My junk turned completely black. I thought it was gonna fall off. I looked like a circus freak. I could have joined Barnum and Bailey's or whatever there for a couple of weeks. But yeah, I know that's the Jane. Why I brought that all up anyway was she had her gallbladder removed, and it took like maybe 2 weeks for all that gas to get out of her stomach. It was just like all bloated up down there. There's little pinholes. They go in and suck everything out, however they do it. But Definitely not fun. I don't really wish it on too many, that's for sure. Enough about me and craziness, but yeah, I do want to say that, you know, we're all survivors really, you know, out of what, a million sperm or 6 million sperm, whatever. You're the one that made it here, so you already are special just in that. But some of us really do have a more intense battle in this world than others, and definitely commend you for sticking in there. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone, and yeah, definitely if you guys haven't checked her out, go ahead and hit that up too. I'm gonna get back to trying to figure this mess out. Hopefully we can get it straightened out here. All right. Now, one thing I will show you on here, this is a rebuild actually, this engine in the first place. I put this together with a bunch of odd parts. But you can see I don't have, a lot of people will have the spring in here to push this back out. Really, you don't need that. When you pull your clutch in, that little ball on the end of the bucking bar that's in there, that bearing, that's always rolling. So even if you don't have a spring on there, as soon as that rolls a couple of times, it releases the friction off of there. Just personal preference whether or not you want to have a spring in there. But I think I actually might have one that I cut in half. I'm gonna put that on there just to have that until I can figure out why we're in this situation in the first place. But as you can see, we got that clutch keeper back in place. This clutch line is actually off of a moped. If you try to send me an email through a favorites playlist, I'd be happy to send you any information that I have. A lot of times when I'm doing these videos, I forget to put links in the description. Get over here. No, let's go. Let's go. Mate, let's go. Get down. Let's go. Hey.
How are you?
Good. Nah, thank you. Yeah. Have a great day. Happy New Year. Yeah, Happy New Year. This is why you're over here and you're on the leash, because you're not listening. I let you lay in the sun and you think you can go off and do whatever you want. You want to go in there and be mopey, go ahead. Well, those geese are flying south. There's only about 5 of them. Let's see here. The last time my dad had a motorcycle, the throttle stuck and he had to jump off. Oh my heavens. Wow. Let's see what she's crying about. Did you hide a bone back there and you can't get it now? You probably did, didn't you? Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. Ha ha ha. All right, good job, May. Oh, she's gonna go lay down and have fun with that. That'll leave me some time to myself. Oh yeah, and I was gonna get a spring for this. See where I even have one. Let me just set this down so I can use both hands, folks. I'll be right back with you in a minute. do have some extra parts here, so I gotta test these out. I don't even know which one's good or not, but let's see here. Mike Cyanide, I see you have the magneto off. Yeah, trying to get in here and figure out what's going on. Just gave you a wrench, Mike. You should be able to click on anybody's name in here now and subscribe to their channel. When the little box comes up, just says go to channel and subscribe, and then there should be a back arrow in there too. You can come right back to us without losing the feed. So yeah, I was riding to the machine shop the other day to drop off some parts for a customer on a bike or an engine I'm building for them, and ended up just quitting on me. So far we found that yeah, no worries at all, bro. Man, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I had that, so you can see the hole in there. I cut a little bit of that out because I had an 11 tooth sprocket on here, and noticed that a piece of that had actually come off and was in there as well. So that may have been just all the problem that we had. Hopefully that's all the problem that we had, but we'll get it figured out here in a minute. Right now I'm just adjusting the clutch cable, and then once we have that back right, probably go ahead and just put the magneto back on there. And once we have the stator set, we'll put the plug in and just see if we even have any spark. So I do exactly what you do. Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, Paul Gale's in here. We got all kind of people in here this morning. Weldon Carey, Smoke 300. Our new friend, Aimlessly Wandering Soul. Not sure who else is still here, but I know a few other people at least dropped in to say hi. Do appreciate the airtime and the support, everyone. And if no one's told you today, you're worth it. Jesus loves you. God loves you. Somebody cares about you. So, yeah, a little bit of frayed action on the end of our cable here. Again, this is off of a moped. A little heavier duty than your normal same size circumference. I don't even know whatever the millimeters or the thread wrap is actually off the top of my head, but they do tend to stretch quite a bit, and that can lead you to some problems, or it'll even just snap. So for whatever it was, the clutch cable, the lever, and I think it came with something else too. I want to say it might have been 10 bucks or under. And the handle itself is aluminum as well too, so good quality. Just so everybody knows too, there is a tip that I have for you. You may or may not know it already, but if you do get a fray on the end, you know, something worse than this where you got 2 or 3 of your pieces of the wire in the cable itself kind of spun out or whatever, you just take a zip tie and put it on there as tight as it'll go, and then you just spin that around and it'll rewrap that cable for you. Ignition, yeah, you know what, I mean, for all intents and purposes, I mean, I know, like, I've been working on a Smollett case for a while with a stage 6 cylinder and whatever else, and I've gone back and forth with the concept of getting a clutch from, or the journal and the crankshaft from RDM. But you know, I guess I see that some people are just getting the KTM ignition. They're not even using that crank, but um, they're just taking the KTM magnet and putting it on these things. So I don't know if it's any more dependable or, you know, I really don't have that much information on it. I wish I could share more with you guys on that. I don't really go on to like forums, or I know there's a few different discords out there. If anybody has any links and wants to post them for each other, you know, feel free to do that stuff, guys. I have no problem. That's what we're here for, is just to try to help each other out. So if you can learn something here for yourself or give me a tip and I can pass it on, totally appreciate it either way. But may affect balance. Yeah, you know what? You're right about that. In all actuality, I think one of the plates is slightly, just, I mean, maybe a few thousandths thinner than the other one. So, and I could be wrong, but, you know, for as cheap as these things are, it's, I guess my major complaint has always just been that it seems either the CDI or these magnetos, the stators, burn out. I want to say not constantly, but consistently. So, you know, why they can't just make them a little more heavy duty, or, you know, a lot of times myself, I'll put liquid 3M tape on these. You can just brush that over and waterproof them. Or you can even use something just like, you know, Permatex, a gasket maker, whatever. This one here already had the the lacquer on it, so I didn't bother with it. But I mean, that's something that 3 this month. Wow. Yeah, a while back I was having an issue and I bought 2 or 3 of them. 2 of them came bad out of the box. Somebody sent me one and I still couldn't get it running. And somebody had suggested using one, I don't remember if it was the red wire or the blue wire or whatever, but they said supposedly, you know, that had more amperage or whatever. And I ended up having a drill started. I got you know, took the chain off because I think that bike, I didn't have a kickstand, or I couldn't get like a bucket or something underneath it. One only, wow. Yeah, man, it really is. It's just like, I mean, and you think too, like, this is a Chinese engine. There's what, 6 billion Chinese people? I don't know if you've ever tried to look up like Chinese people leaving factory or something like that on like YouTube or Google. You'll see 1,000 of these things coming out the door, man. It's like, you know, they know that they have to work. You know, they've got to get to work. They could lose their job or their family. Communist country, who knows? Maybe they shoot them in the head. I don't want to think that, but, you know, I know things ain't right over there. You know, they were like mandatory. If you got pregnant, they'd kill your baby if it wasn't a boy, and this and that. I mean, it's crazy, but, you know, for all intents and purposes, something that's this easy to make, even though it is cheap, it's so practical. Why can't you just improve just the one part, you know? That's all there is to it. So, but looks like we might have a little damage here. You can see if I press that, I got a little bit of liquid coming out. It looks like the pin on the back of that might have come loose. As I said, when that piece came in, it got in there. It might have hit that, caused some vibration. Even if it wasn't touching anything, just the fact that it was in there might have been moving around with the motor going, and it actually caused this to come loose. So we didn't have a good ground, number one. And secondly, you know, we had a little bit of debris on the end of the, oops, sorry, a little bit of debris on the end of on the magnets on the end of the dangers there. So we will try to figure out exactly what is wrong. Hopefully it's not too much, but again, let me just get this back together. I've got that out and then in place. I think I grabbed a little half spring somewhere, or started to, when I was pulling those out of there. right, guys, I just had a call. Just had a call come through. If you can tell me if you can still hear me, can people still hear? Do we still have audio? Okay, cool. Thank you, Paul. Sometimes when I get a call, it mutes me on here, even though I haven't done anything. Thank you, Mike, as well. Thanks, guys. Do you like that pipe, by the way? It's practical. The reason that I have it on this bike, is that I have clearance, plenty of clearance. I mean, I do have other pipes. That being said, I don't have the clearance with the like the YZ85 or YZ80, whatever it is. I can't even remember, but with this on there, because it's got a bigger cone up front, it rubs the wheel, and then I have the real MZ65, or it's a nasty jack, whatever it is. You can see the size difference. Oh, maybe it can't here. There is a little bit of size difference, is what I'm trying to say. This is probably like an inch bigger, this one. So you got a little more area for the echo, so you can get a better resonance. But they're not bad. I mean, you're not really probably gonna get on a power band on it that much, unless but you do have an increase in power, I can say that. But you're not going to be going 30 and then the next minute be doing 45 or anything. So what I did with this was I just took an old seat post, and then you can see that they're tapered up top. And on a standard bike, if it's a mountain bike, you might have a wider one or something. But standard seat post will go right into the back of the exhaust, the muffler. And then you can just take and cut your exhaust and put it into the back. What I found out from tuning this and doing this several different times is 3 holes that are the same size basically as the hole that comes through there. I want to say it's 6 millimeters. So that gives you plenty of power, gives you plenty of back pressure, and it also stays relatively quiet. So but you can, I mean, you could go even crazier if you wanted to. You could cut this off up top and pull all that out of there, and then if you could re-weld it, or if you know somebody that's got just a torch. I think I've seen people take just a regular like hand bottle torch and then get a brazing rod and just braze those back on themselves. So however you want to do it, this is really just for me trying to be like a daily runner, getting around and being able to, just if I need to get to work or whatever. It says bought 3 MZ65s this month. MZ Miami is running a sale. 49. Yeah, I think Leonard Arroyo was saying they were having a really nice sale too. And thanks for telling us. Yeah, it's a great store. I've got several things from them, either last item or whatever. I had a pair of straight forks, steel tube straight forks on a triple tree, and I want to say I picked them up. They were supposed to be 110. I got them for like 30 or 40 bucks, and it was like 10 bucks to ship it. So you never know. Yeah, it's worth going on there and looking around if you have the money. Definitely a good tip, everybody. So there's one thing that I can tell you about this setup, though. I have had a problem before where the standard exhaust wouldn't fit into there. So what I ended up doing was just cutting it a little bit longer, and then I got in there with a cutting disc with the Dremel and just basically made a cross shape, cut it through this way, cut it through that way, and then just tamped that down just a little bit. The reason I made it kind of a bit longer is because I wanted it to get up in there enough that where I was tapping on it, that it actually had enough force to stay on. The first time I did it, I had one on there and I didn't have it long enough, and it ended up vibrating out. So, and then because you bent it down and you only have like as much material as kind of like showing there, you know, like a finger or something, it just wouldn't stay on after that. And I didn't, I think I even had like a hose clamp or something on there too, but it just wasn't practical. So, but yeah, if you do get into that situation, just make sure you give yourself, you know, a couple inches of material, and yeah, it should work out pretty well. But anyway, 220 plus tax for Go Max last month. Nice. Hey, you're doing it, Paul. Yeah, man, they got some good deals. Go Max has them. California, is it bike, California bike or California motorized bike? I can never remember, but yeah, stock carb. I mean, you know, if some people, you know, say, hey, you know, you got to have a really good carb to go fast. I've got PZ20, something 22. I got Ocos. I got PWK 21. I've got Nibby carbs. I've got all kind of carbs. Tuning them, yeah, it's a lot simpler. You got, you know, this is only a single circuit carb. You're running your idle off of the main jet. But yeah, it's really port timing is the biggest thing, I think, on these things. If you got good timing, I'm not saying that a good carb, you know, Makuni or something isn't necessary to hit a higher speed, but the whatever they want to call a, you know, speed, not well, speed carb is an NT type, with like the little metal plunger in it, but whatever they call like the speed carb, you know, that Bikeberry sells or something for 25 bucks. It's a flat slide carb, and again, I believe that's a single circuit too. It takes the same exact jets as an NT. Does it work any better? I really didn't have any. I think the NT actually hits harder if you're trying to get speed. You might get a little more top speed out of it, but all through your power band and then low end, the NT is going to perform just as good as that, if not better. And they are actually hard to keep tuned for whatever reason. It's a flat slide. So it might have something to do with that. You know, you got a flat slide, round tube, turbulence, whatever it is. But yeah, out of a Bofang, yeah. So yeah, I know some guys have done different things. I'll show you. If you were to take this off of here, this one you can't even, because it's in here with a what you call not a grommet. What am I trying to say? Anyway, there's not even a bolt on that. It's put on with a rivet. There we go. But yeah, if you just take up here on the top of this, I get my thumb out of the way. Up here on the top, right in the center, you can put just a little bit of a cone in there, kind of like almost like a boost port in the back of your intake. You can add a little bit of, and it just, that in itself would do something. I've taken lots of the old spacers that come with those, and I'll stack 4 or 5 of them together. You can just make an air stack, take the bolts that are on here, and then just run those through, and instead you just put your sponge on at the end. What I've found when you're doing that, though, is that actually will restrict it. So you just take a piece of screen, you know, off a window screen or whatever. You need a steel screen, though. You got to be careful. A lot of these screens today are actually made out of fiberglass, and they got some of a kind of a coating on it. and that will actually get into that and really scar up your cylinder if that happens. So just make sure it's a steel screen, an actual screen, if you're going to use that. But I've had the best of luck, really, just running these things naked like that, just putting a screen over it. The velocity stack that you can buy for the NT, do not waste your time. You will not be able to tune it. They look really pretty, but you're going to have awesome low end and maybe some mid range, but they will die out up top no matter what. They run out of gas. The air just overpowers it or something. All right, everybody, let me try to get some work done here. Be happy to answer anybody's question. I'll try to participate in the chat if I can, but do have a good conversation in there while I try to get some of this done. Let me see here if we can at least get some of our nice s'more spark plug cleaned up here. Looking really nice. I ran out of my Red Line Racing fuel mixture. That it's degummed castor oil. Red Line Racing. I don't get sponsored with them, but I've used that over the years pretty regularly. You will see a power increase just by putting that in, somewhere in 3 to 5%. You know, a good solid 5 mile an hour increase probably in your speed just by using that. I know that sounds hokey, but the castor oil does not burn the same way as a lot of the other stuff. So, but I've been using just a Walmart 2-cycle marine oil, and I've run it really rich. I didn't want to have any problems with this engine, and it's ran like a top. I want to say I'm running it probably 30, somewhere around 30, 28, 30, 32 neighborhood. Yeah, it resists burning. I don't know if I ever added it to my playlist, but there's a video out there where a guy takes a little like spatula knife, and he puts a drop of regular oil on, and he puts a lighter under it or a torch, and boom, it flares up, it's gone, it leaves a residue. Puts castor on there, and for like 30 seconds it's just dancing around, and then finally it dissolves and goes away. But yeah, not all of them do burn the same though. I know with the Red Line Racing, you really have to run it rich. If you try to run that 40 to 1, you'll do it, and you'll probably go 10 mile an hour faster, but you will blow a ring. It heats the rings up too much. So that's my advice there, along with telling you that's definitely a good brand to use. They have a office here in the United States in California, but I believe the main company is out of France. Ernest Macruder, thanks for joining us. I'm going to add you with the moderator here too. So you can click on anybody's name with the wrench and it says go to channel, and you can subscribe and then just hit the back arrow and come right back. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the show. Welcome aboard. And Ernest says, I have a motor kit bike, 100cc bike. Okay, probably a YD 100. Not bad. They're a lot of those are kind of more of a mule. They're not as Carl Shield. What's up, Carl? Happy New Year, Carl. Happy Tuesday to you. Hope you're well. Hope your health is good. So but yeah, if you're new to bikes, I hate to recommend Bikeberry, but I'm gonna tell you the only place I know that you can get that motor right now is the BT 100, not the YD 100, but the BT 100 version 2. I've heard really good things about that. I did a lot of modifications on the BT 100, the original version, and I had a fantastic time with it. Probably the most dependable engine I ever had. I did have problems with its soft season quite a bit though, even with the modifications that I did. We lightened the piston, drilled oil holes in the piston, knifed the piston. So yeah, and then I think I ran it a little richer for a while, somewhere like 38 to 1. But I'm not knocking it. I could definitely do 50 miles an hour, but if you wanted to hold the throttle wide open throttle and do 60 for about a mile, you're going to be sitting on the side of the road till it cooled down. So, but the new one has a reed block right in the and everything. You can the head comes off. The other BT 100 was a single piece, but I would recommend starting out with that engine. Should be hassle free. Um, I'm not getting paid to say that or anything. Bikeberry kind of screwed me over with a full kit purchase before, so I've kind of badmouthed them ever since. But the reason I am putting that out there is, like I said, that's the only place that I know that you can buy that engine. I get almost everything off of eBay. Plenty of good stores. You got Don's 1986 or whatever, has been around forever. RSZ, several other ones in there. So, and then you can just scroll through and find what you want too. Carl says, I've never had a motorbike. Well, Carl, you are unique in your own way, sir. If you guys don't know who Carl is, he's over there in Ireland, and he's kind of a train fanatic and gets around some of the airplanes and stuff too, the larger ones, and has a nice show. So yeah, check him out if you don't know who he is. And glad to have you aboard, Carl. Haven't seen you in a while, and I'm sorry I haven't been on your show either. Just been terribly busy with life and the holidays in general. They're somewhat dangerous anyway, Carl. I guess I was thinking people, maybe not the bike so much. There are some riders out there that are kind of foolish, but I think really it mostly is just people in cars. They don't see you or they don't pay attention and ends up putting you at risk because of it. So you really do have to pay attention out there if you're a bike rider, whether it's just a pedal bike or a motorbike or e-bike, any kind of bike. Just have to be extra cautious. Oh, I may have to get my cable cutters out here and just trim the end of this. Hopefully we got enough left in this thing. Just take a little 1/8 of an inch off there so I don't have to struggle with it. Be right back. So guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to tell you, if you are trying to grow your channel and you need some watch hours, please do feel free to leave that in a comment. I pick everybody kind of randomly at night and just go. I have like 300 subs, so there's no telling who it'd be. But if you are close to getting to a place where you might be paid on your channel and you would like some extra support, feel free to let me know, and I'll definitely add you to the top of the list. All right, let's see here. So you see, just the end of this has just got a little bit of sticking out. We're just gonna trim that off. These are cable cutters. The brand is Pedro's. I bought those on eBay. Probably, I want to say this might be the most valuable tool that I have in my kit. What are watch hours? Watch hours, Carl, are once you have so many people view your videos, the time stacks up, and once you have, depending on where it might be, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 hours, then you're allowed to add certain things to your channel, whether it's stickers that people pay for, super stickers, or you can sell products on your channel, or whatever it might be, but it allows you to be monetized. Or make money in layman's terms, whatever you want to say. So I see there we got a nice clean cut, nice clean edge. Should be able to get that right through. Had to drill that out because, again, this is off of a motorbike, a moped. It's a little heavier duty. I'm just gonna nip that in just a tad bit further. I didn't want to cut the wires it was next to while I was holding the phone. All right, we're on there. Now I've got a pair of pliers on here. I'm pulling the cable all the way back from up at the handle. I know you can't see it, but the cable running down through. I'm pulling the tension back. Try to tighten that up as much as possible. I don't understand why people need to play the music loud when they come in here. Really is a time and place for everything, and it's just disturbing, you know. Go out on the highway and do that. I don't want to hear that shit. Who knows if somebody's sleeping, working nights. It's just no couth. Still have quite a bit of play up here. Oh, let me turn the camera around. You can see this is awful loose. I'm not sure why. So we're going to end up backing this out again. Our keeper, just to put a little bit of tension on there. I'm going to check my plate too. That seems like it's good. Well, that's disappointing. For some reason, I don't have any traction on my clutch plate right now. I really don't think that's too tight because I can move that physically by hand. So that's telling me that I don't have any pressure on that, which is it's already released. So I may have to take the flower nut loose and just try to figure out what's going on there real quick as well. give that just a little bit of a turn. Not the best. Not the best right now. All right. Let's try to put this back on in the meantime and see if we can get some spark. I gotta get the right ones, that might help. All right. We got that nice and tight. Hey, Aussie Chick is here. Our incredible fortune teller from the future. So nice to see you. Paul says, I've got a Harley Davidson. Oh, that's so awesome, Paul. Wow, I'm somewhat jealous. Party time. Yeah, I'm having my party right here. Big old sober party, fixing the bike. Things are not the best right now. I just tried to tighten my clutch and it doesn't seem like it's grabbing. I adjusted the nut on the other side and I still don't have tension on here. May have to take this apart and see if something actually shifted. There's a little rod inside of the clutch where you have, this is your actuator, and then when you push that in, there's a wood bucking bar in there, and that pushes in against that rod that takes the clutch plate out on the other side. And whatever happened the other day may have actually caused that to come loose or something and work its way out. So this whole motor might be just shot right now. Might be doing all this for nothing. If it is the case, it is. So it's gonna be a good year. A Harley Davidson? Oh, okay. Hey, thanks for jumping back in here. All right. Thanks for all the thumbs up too, everybody. Appreciate that so much. Let me put the plug in the boot on the CDI, and I'm gonna try to roll the bike. See if we have a spark. Good to be back, mate. She says, yeah, thanks for being here, girl. Yeah, definitely good to see you as well. And you are an early riser or a late sleeper. I can't remember which, but either way, thanks for letting us know that the new year is gonna be okay. Well, it's as I imagined. Didn't have spark. The question now is to determine why. Is it coming from here and not reaching here because this unit is bad? Or is this unit bad and we have spark here? So we'll get out the multimeter. Hopefully get a reading. You're gonna have to bear with me, guys. Again, I have these running underneath with the CDI back here instead of up front. So put the phone down here real quick and see if I can get that unplugged. We're going to be setting the multimeter or voltmeter on the ohms. That's that little upside down horseshoe. And we want it on around 200. Sometimes this reader, I have to switch it over to 2000, but we'll get it figured out here in a second. So black on black, red on blue. I get a very strong reading here. 480, that's way up there. That's a good number, actually. We're looking for 375 or better. Up to 450 would be acceptable. So I'm gonna go ahead and guess that this is the problem right here. We'll just double check it. So I'm moving this around. Try to show you guys and hold the phone. See if I can hold the phone over this so you can see. If I move this back and forth, we got between 4 and 0. And I want to say that needs to be up around 11 or something to that effect. There we go. Oh, I missed all kind of stuff here. Let's see. Nice, Aussie. Thank you so much. What name Gas Max? Gas Max. I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure on that. Gas Max. Go Max. Go Maxine is a Go Maxine is a seller. They have a website, and I think they sell some stuff on eBay as well. Not 100% sure. So have to bear with me. My back is killing me. I'm old. I have injuries. As beautiful as it is out there. It's definitely bent over for too long. So, that being said, our next phase, now that we've tested out the I just had a call come in, guys. Can you still hear me? Still have audio? Anybody can tell me? Still have audio. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, so unless I was getting some kind of wild reading off of this magneto, the CDI, the magneto, yeah, the stator, I believe it's just going to be our CDI that's bad. So I do have several of them here. I'm going to have to just plug those in and then put the plug in there, hold it up against the tank or the cylinder, and see which one of these is viable, if I can get spark from any of them. So that's going to be the next phase. Go Max Industries. Yeah, you can go right online. Also, Ernest, you can go right to eBay. If you're in a country that maybe doesn't support that, I would check maybe like AliExpress, ALI Express, or however you say it. You might be able to find it on there. You could also check with at GoMax, like Paul said, or you can also, I'm trying to think who else would sell that online. Amazon, if you have Amazon wherever you are. I'm not sure if you're here in the States or Canada or some other country. But hey, you got, oh, Weldon Carey's still here too. Hey guys, all right. Hey, if you guys need a good knife, check out his channel. And I know he also has an Instagram account. I'm not sure if that's in his bio there or if he keeps it in the descriptions. But if you can get a link there and check him out. I want to say, I think it's through Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. You can reach out to him and he will order stuff for you, or you can buy from him directly. He should have a good amount of product on hand already, if it's not out of a personal collection. I'm sure he might even sell something like that if it's something that he can replace. So definitely check him out. He's got his channel to grow really fast, just sitting there flicking a knife in front of everybody. Pretty cool. All the work that I've been putting into this thing, it's cool when I get a new person to even show up. So But yeah, I guess I'm not gonna bore you guys with sitting there trying to get this CDI figured out, attaching it, and then running the bike, pushing the bike, going back. Yeah, that worked. That didn't work. Whatever. Hopefully, I can get it up and running. I still have to figure out the clutch issue. I really don't know what's happened there. It may be that this is just time to retire this thing. I've got over a couple of thousand miles on it, so and a rebuilt engine that I put together out of spare parts. So for what it's worth, it's definitely giving me its money's worth. Um, if you guys are interested in having me work on a motor for you, be happy to do port work or give you advice on parts that you may need. Really is a great hobby. If you're, you know, maybe somebody that's had a problem with like losing your license, there's only a couple of states that really will give you any kind of a hard time, California being one of them. But most states will let you ride it in the breakdown lane, even if you're supposed to have a license. Typically, they do not pull you over. Here in Rhode Island, we have dedicated bike lanes for bicyclists, but they allow us to, you know, ride and share the road. So fun hobby, great transportation. You're looking at anywhere between 60 and 100 miles a gallon of gas. And so if you want to just go out on the weekends and putter around doing 25 or 35, or if you want to soup them up and do 50 or 60 miles an hour, it's definitely up to you, whatever your intentions may be. But I would like to say again, if you're struggling though, you know, along with mentioning that that's a good way to get around, if you don't have any other transportation, you can go on eBay and pick one up for maybe 150 or 200 bucks. Go to Walmart, buy a $150 bike, you know, maybe 300 bucks. Get a cheap bike at a yard sale for 25 or 50 bucks, whatever works. A couple $100, you might be up and running on the road with little or no trouble. So, but yeah, Happy New Year's to everybody. Please be safe out there. You know, don't get into trouble out there tonight. If you can at all avoid it, stay home. A lot of new drivers on the road. A lot of people are going to be drinking and driving. A lot of parties with fights. Sub to Weld and Carry. Awesome. Thank you, Aimless, for being here and sticking through the whole show and showing love to everyone. It really is awesome of you. Hope to see you here again anytime that you have the time. But again, everybody, thank you so much for the support. Don't do it alone. You know, if you're struggling with depression, reach out to someone. If you're a vet, there's a hotline. Call a friend. Go to a church. Talk to a minister. If you're having problems with drugs or alcohol, there's AA or there's NA, or you can seek professional help through your doctor. If you don't have a family doctor, just take yourself to an emergency room and tell them what's going on. And oh, we got somebody else here that says Eduardo Espinoza Slation. Right, there's so many people getting killed on the news. Yeah, it's nuts, man. Burning people alive. Just growing up as a kid, man, I never would even imagine some of this stuff. It's just absurd. So praying for you all out there that you have a really safe time. You know, if nobody else has told you today, you're worth it. You're special. God loves you. Somebody cares about you. And until we see you again next time, be well, harm none, and Godspeed. And also, Eduardo, if you want to come back, welcome to the channel. I am also going to give you the little blue wrench. So if you hit our all notification button, the next time we're live, you can click on anybody's name and it'll just take you right to their channel, subscribe, and then just come right back. So yeah, God bless you as well. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day. Try to do something nice for yourself or a neighbor, and get out there and enjoy it. I hope you're having the weather we're having here today. You can see I'm outside in a t-shirt, and it's the middle of winter, so very odd. But Mike, thank you. Thank you again for being here and all the support you've given us over the past few weeks. Um, just a side note, real quick, before I do wrap it up. The bike broke down on the way to the machine shop the other night, so the engine that we're building for my friend that's is a customer right now. We're getting a cylinder finished up for him. Just they're taking off like 2 thousandths of an inch or something like that on the bottom of the skirt so that the piston doesn't bind up. I had already honed it out. The piston was just a little bit bigger that we're putting in there. I've already got the crank mostly balanced. He's drilling that out, and he's relathing the head that he wants to put on the bike that had a piston explode and the ring came up and gave him popcorn splatter. Jared brought me here a while back. Hey, that's awesome. Jared, yeah, he does his thing. I don't have time a lot. I've been following Jared for a few years now. He was maybe my second or third subscriber, and he's a great dude. They have a lot of fun over there. It's got a little bit corny lately, but I definitely do really like following him when he goes on his rides across America. So if you guys don't know who Jared D is, definitely try to find his channel as well. You should be able to locate it under my subscriptions. So, guys, again, ladies, have a wonderful day, and hope to see you all soon.